Hello, my dear ladies and gentlemen. How delightful. It's so good to make your acquaintance again. Now, that greeting wasn't as quick as most of my greetings, but I embellished it intentionally. It just fits better with today's topic. The title of this podcast is Menopause is Not a Quick Fix Phenomenon. You know, we live in a time of quick fixes. We expect everything to happen with the push of a button. I'm Menopause Taylor. I'm bringing you the state of menopause in the world today, and my goal is to teach you everything. Unfortunately, the general mentality of society is give me the shortcut for getting what I want. It's as if attention deficit disorder has become the norm. Attention spans have become so short that people can't focus on anything for more than a few minutes. Doing things step by step in an orderly manner is largely a thing of the past. Nowadays, people expect to get an answer without ever even having to figure out anything on their own. Segments on news shows are but about 3 minutes for topics that deserve 30 minutes. It's as if the entertainment aspect of the segment is more important than the information itself. And have you noticed how much stimulation there is on television screens these days? There is so much happening on the screen that it's easy to get distracted while watching any kind of show. Even though there may be a very high-level expert delivering information on a very important subject, there are lights and colors, other people moving all around them. It's as if people need stimulation overload in order to stay tuned into what he or she is saying. The words just aren't enough. There has to be busyness. Another byproduct of our quick fix society is the soundbite. Instead of getting a whole concept or the whole story, all you get is sound bites. These are short, isolated, quick, gimmicky phrases. They're a way of communicating in single sentences only. And while they may capture the gist of the matter, they do not do justice to the matter. Much of the time, they are statements that simply cannot stand alone. And since so much of what you hear about menopause is reduced to sound bites, I thought it would be important to give you a podcast that addresses how inadequate that is. After all, we're in the middle of a little unit on the problems, principles, and powers for success in managing your menopause. So if you live in today's world, and you do, you'll benefit greatly by listening to this podcast and learning what I have to teach you. And if you're a person who likes quick fixes, you definitely need to hear this podcast. You should take a look at my YouTube channel and look at some of the comments in the various comment boxes, because a lot of women make comments after videos, and you should take a look because some of those comments and questions actually induced me to talk to you about quick fixes. If you've been getting my education for a while, you probably know that I try to do everything I can to educate. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see that I try to respond to every single comment every single day. And that is because my goal is to be available to help you. And if you look at my answers to the questions, you'll see that I tend to write a whole lot. And again, my goal is to help you. So anytime a question is one for which I can give a thorough factual answer, I write as much as it takes to do so. But oftentimes, I get questions that beg for a quick fix, and there's no way to provide one. You see, a lot of quick fixes are advertised on television commercials. The most common are probably quick ways to lose weight, without any information whatsoever about why the person gained weight or why they haven't succeeded in losing weight already, or how they live or what they eat. These commercials promise rapid weight loss or your money back. They guarantee loss of massive amounts of weight in the very first week. Sounds like magic. And the more magical it sounds, the more people buy it. So there's something very strange and intoxicating about this quick fix mentality. But I'd like to contact some of those people who claim to have lost such large quantities of weight in such short periods of time and follow them to see how well they keep off the weight after they stop paying the weight loss company. And I'd like to know if the quick fix was a long-term fix. I mean, did it provide them with the tools they needed to learn how to adopt diet and lifestyle habits that served them over the long term? My hunch is that because it was a quick fix, it was probably only a temporary solution. And weight control is a long-term issue, not a short one. So I want to talk about quick fixes for managing your menopause. And since the default mindset of our times is one of quick fixes, let's address the misconceptions that result from that quick fix mentality. The first quick fix misconception about menopause is that it's just a temporary transition that lasts a couple of years. If this is your impression, and you try to impose a quick fix to get you through the transition, you'll be in for a lot of surprises. Your menopausal life is going to last for the rest of your life. It is not a blip in time. It is not just a hump you have to get over during the transition. It is a permanent state that will remain until the day you die. If you don't address it for what it is, you'll miss the boat on a lot of the most important things about menopause. It's a lot like dieting. You can't expect a temporary bout of dieting to substitute for permanent good dietary and lifestyle habits. Doing something over the short term and expecting it to serve you well over the long term is just illogical. It sounds like magic, and if it sounds like magic, it isn't realistic. The second quick fix misconception about menopause is that you should just copy what someone else does for her menopause. It may be your mother, your sister, your friend, some celebrity, whomever. I call this the copycat quick fix. Copying someone or doing what some non-expert tells you to do for managing your menopause is as illogical as the blind leading the blind. Was there ever a situation in your young life when you did something to emulate your friend that your parents thought was ridiculous? Did your mom or dad respond with, "Well, if Susie jumps out of a moving vehicle, are you going to do that too?" Or, something along those lines? Well, if you copy what someone else does for menopause, I'll ask you a question similar to what your parents asked you. If Susie chooses options that are only right for Susie, are you going to do that too? You can't get a quick fix for your menopause by copying someone else. You're unique. You have to do what's right for you. And there is nothing that is right for everyone. Quick fix misconception about menopause number 3 is assuming that you can make up for lack of preparation by learning a tidbit or two. Women who watch my videos or listen to these podcasts or read my book or watch the webinars are shocked at how much there is to know about menopause. They all say they had no idea that there was more to it than just a few hot flashes. And when they learn about the diseases that result from loss of estrogen, they can't believe that no one has ever taught them that stuff. Learning a tidbit or two about menopause does not equip you with the tools to manage it in a way that will serve you in the long term. It's not that you can't make up for a delay in getting the education. You can. All the women watching my videos, listening to these podcasts, reading my book, or scheduling consultations with me who are already dealing with symptoms of menopause are making up for their delay in getting the education. But they are diligently making time to get the education. They reserve time on Tuesdays to see my videos as they air. They make sure that they tune into each podcast as it's published. They have bought my book and they read it. They post questions in the comment box on my YouTube channel to build on what they've already learned. And they use every little bit of new information to further refine their menopause management. Of course, The best thing would be for all women to get this education long before they need it. Can you imagine how different your life and the lives of all women would be if they all got this education in advance? That's my dream. The fourth quick fix misconception about menopause is that you can find a fast solution by exhibiting desperation. This is when a woman writes a comment depicting all her severe symptoms and includes a plea like, "Help, tell me what to do." This one always makes me feel so useless. And that's because, in case you haven't noticed, I don't tell you what to do. Telling you what to do would constitute substituting my own judgment for yours. I teach, I don't tell. Teaching is a whole lot more powerful. It arms you with knowledge so that you can make your own decisions. Telling you what to do is like giving you an order. Telling you what to do ignores your preferences, priorities, and personal values. It's disrespectful. Teaching takes time. Telling you what to do doesn't. And telling you what to do is patronizing. Teaching you what you need to know in order to decide yourself what to do is empowering. So I choose teaching over telling any day. One of the early sections in my book is entitled More Than Just the Golden Rule. You know, the Golden Rule says, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And that's fine for some things, but it's not fine for your menopause education. If I applied the Golden Rule, I'd be like everyone else on YouTube and podcasts and everywhere else talking about menopause. I'd be telling you what I do for my menopause. And I'd be persuading you to do for your menopause what I do for mine. But that wouldn't be fair to you. You deserve to get the tools you need to do things your way. And that's what my education is all about. So the desperate plea to tell you what to do is a quick fix myth. The fifth quick fix misconception about menopause is that you can pose a detailed personal question in a comment box and get a quick answer that serves you well. I call this one the details don't matter misconception. Quite often, I get a comment on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram that depicts the woman's menopausal problems. And usually she'll include, 5 or 6 details, and she wants me to give her a quick fix solution. The problem is that for each of the 5 or 6 details, there are about 5 or 6 more factors that are critical for even beginning to address the situation. And there is no way I can help her in a comment box. When I read a comment like that, I tell her that she needs a one-on-one consultation because she does. If you pose a question anywhere and I tell you that you should schedule a consultation, please schedule one. I don't tell you to schedule a consultation unless it's absolutely necessary. I'm not trying to drum up business for myself. I'm busy, very swamped. I am making sure you get the information you deserve. You see how much information I deliver freely? There's no one else teaching you this stuff free of charge on YouTube or the radio or anywhere else. I give you as much as I possibly can for free. But if you have a situation that requires applying the information specifically to you personally, I'm going to tell you that. And that is precisely what I do in consultations. The consultations I do with you are thorough. You get way more than you'd ever expect, even before the actual session. As soon as you schedule, I have you give me